Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this program you're about to listen to, it is sponsored by Spotlight Cinema Supply. I want to tell you a little bit about Spotlight Cinema Supply. You need a director's chair? Guess what? I'm sitting in one now. It was sponsored by Spotlight Cinema Supply. You need a camera van? Do you need a clothing rack? Do you need, what else, guys? You need tape?
Walkie-talkies.
You want a walkie-talkie?
Starlink internet.
I don't even know what the fuck that is. But if you need it, these people have it. If you don't think that they have it, they might not have it, and they will find it for you. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if you go up to Spotlight Cinema Supply and you say that Sitting with the Sosk sent you there, oh, you're going to get a little special something. So let's hear it for Spotlight Cinema Supply for sponsoring this program. Ow.
Sitting with the Sosk is joined by Rodney Smith and Bill Doty. These guys are behind the Tulsa Underground Film Festival, the TUFFEST. That's the newest film festival here in Oklahoma. Learn how Rodney went from being a stand-in LA to coming back home to be a filmmaker here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And hear how Bill Doty started in LA with Funny or Die and how he wound up here writing, directing, and filming his newest feature, Kick Chaw Cop. Sitting with the Sosk. We're coming to your ears right now.
Thank you for joining the table. This is Sitting with the Sosk. I am PJ Sosko, and you are listening to Tulsa's newest podcast about the independent film world. Here in Tulsa, Oklahoma around, and beyond. We have people that are sitting at this table who hail from Las Vegas and also hail from the area, born and bred, I believe, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes. We have two gentlemen sitting at this table. We got a twofer for fucking tonight. This is a writer, director, actor, improvised commercial maker, Bill Doty, sitting at the table with this fucking lovely jersey look that you got going
Thanks.
on.
This is actually a remnants from L.A., so just my time.
Balls.com. What was
Yeah.
balls.com?
It was made up when we played softball down there in Culver City. I don't know if you ever did when you were down there. I used to play like 4 nights a week. We would just
Fucking
playing.
soft.
Really.
Oh,
Just
like
playing, just
cat
softball.
in
We
the
did that with
industry,
volleyball.
or was it?
Not just normal people.
No,
Actually, I
just
actually hang out with normal people occasionally. Like,
Speaking of non-normal people, I also have another gentleman at this table, and his name is Rodney Smith. He is a singer-songwriter. He is an actor. I met this gentleman at Coffee and Crew, I believe, the first time.
Yeah.
Shout out to Oklahoma MPA for having that gathering and continue to doing so and helping build collaborations like this that we've already had a collaboration together.
Circle Cinema too.
Yeah, yes, for hosting the whole damn thing. Rodney came to me as an actor, also is a writer. You have seen him play in Jenks and at the Tulsa County Fair and many other establishments over the last couple of years.
Tulsa State Fair the last 2 years, and just kind of various places around town. Plays R.J. Smith. There's another Rodney Smith out there.
Oh, really?
He's a country guy, so I'm trying not to.
So we got
take him out?
we got R.J.
We might have
Smith
to,
at the fucking table.
Really, I don't. They're like, you like country? I'm like, nope. And so, no, my dad was a rocker. I was brought up on Eagles and like Zeppelin and all that kind of stuff.
No, you recently went to a concert, and who did you see?
Oh, ZZ Top,
Oh,
man.
nice.
My wife loves
that's right.
it.
Yeah.
She talks about his
How
stuff.
old are those sumbitches
They
right now?
are pushing 80.
And they still got the fucking beards.
They still got the sway. You know how they have the guitars and they kind of do that like sway at
That's
the same
all they
time?
could do.
It's pretty much all. It's like watching two microphone stands up there holding guitars. You know.
fucking song stands the
Oh, they're fun. It was
freaking
amazing.
time.
It was one of those you need to see kind of before.
Yeah.
They go away.
Yeah, sure. I had a chance early on in New York to go to the bartender's ball. Randomly, somebody called me at 9:00. Oh man, shout out to Betty, who used to work at the Stone Crow in the West Village. She used to man the pool table, and she called me one night. She said, "I got a ticket to the bartender's ball. Do you want to see the Godfather of Soul live?" And I said yes. And I saw that man. I saw James Brown, and I was. So it was one of those, I called up a buddy, and at 10:00 we went down, and something I will never fucking forget. So yeah, when you have an opportunity, people, to see a fucking legend before they die, take the opportunity, smell the flowers, go to the fucking concert, fill up the tank. Do you have something to say, Huff? Wait, I have some people that I have to mention before we go any further who helped make this show happen. This is Huff behind the camera. Say hello, Huff.
hey,
And I got Sash behind the boards, man, and everything, making this digitally happen, sound good, all those things. Give me a little flicker, Sash.
All right.
These gentlemen are part of the show. We also have a studio audience tonight with someone who's later going to be on the pod, and we're just going to leave him nameless because we don't want him to draw any fucking attention to himself.
Especially because then you have to play these in order. Because if not, if you play that one, his first and this and that.
I don't even know what the order. You talk.
All the attention.
We're aware. We're gonna get.
We're just gonna crank them out.
Yes, exactly. So one of the things that we're doing on this pod is I want to bring some local gems onto the scene who you might not know about. Both these cats are humming in a way that they're joining together to put an independent film together. They just showed me a wonderful commercial that they shot for an online.
No, it's a brewery out in Seattle.
Oh, it's out in Seattle.
Yeah, out in Seattle, a brewery. Yeah, that I pitched. It's funny because it's an idea that I pitched to another brewery out west 2 years ago, and they were afraid to do it, and I kind of hooked up with this brewery, and I said I got this idea, and they said let's do it. So
yeah, it's a
idea.
really good take. It's a really fun take on it. Can we say anything about it?
Yeah, we can. It's for a place called Watts Brewery out in outside of Seattle.
Shout out to Watts Brewery.
Brewery.
We're gonna do a little shot.
Did I get all the chunks out of mine?
I don't know. Don't talk about the chunks.
And the idea is that every time that somebody is, I'll short version it real quick, but when somebody goes to your house and they drop off bad beer, and then but then they drink your beer, and then they leave you the bad beer.
Yes.
So we did a program where you could just take those bad beer and exchange it for good beer. And Rodney plays the, you can just walk right in and do it. Isn't that a great idea? So anyways, the other brewery didn't want to do it. I had Rodney play the guy who comes and does it. Comes in and draws the beer, and he's fantastic. It was cracking.
Oh, he's a piece of shit.
Luckily I had the camera. So there's so many times that, especially when you're filming with your friends, and it's really hard because they're funny.
Sure.
And they're funnier to you.
Sure.
And
or you want to hope
camera,
that the funny lasts for everyone
right,
as well.
That it translates it, to everybody, to a much broader audience. But when you're filming something and suddenly the camera's shaking because someone's making you laugh, I had just done that even in the movie that we had shot. There were times that the actors make me laugh when we were in the cabin. Did you ever come out to the cabin we were shooting at?
No,
the cabin had this.
It sounds like it's going down a dark path.
It's this cool out in Sepulpa, and we're at this cabin, and when people are laughing, the floor's shaking. So people are holding it in.
Yeah.
Still everything's shaking. And the camera, you could see it start shaking too, and part of it was me. But I was very fortunate. He was cracking me up. But
on any comedy shoot, I always considered it like a badge of honor if I did strike something to make the cameraman laugh, because sometimes that mistake, that little jiggle, you leave just the 2 seconds of that in, and it lets everybody in on the joke for a second, depending on the tone of the film or the whatever it could be. Who knows?
It does. And as a director, and I'm filming a comedy, usually that's just my cut.
Yeah.
If I don't have to say cut, I just start laughing.
Yeah.
And then everyone knows, and they have to do it. So,
since we're right into it, multi-hyphenate, right? So you've done writer, director, and DP as well, and act.
I've worn every hat.
Sure.
And some I shouldn't, and some I do okay with.
Right.
But you have to when you first start making a film as an independent filmmaker.
Absolutely.
You have to learn all this stuff, and if not, you're handcuffed by it. If you're handcuffed by the idea, like, I don't know how to do sound, or I don't know how to edit, or I don't.
Then you better fucking know somebody who does.
I know filmmakers who are asking me for scripts because they know I have them because they can't write.
Right.
I know, or directors and DPs, and I know vice versa, where people are writing scripts and they go, "Help, may I have a movie, please?"
Yeah,
that's how we met.
No one's gonna. Yeah. So basically, well, I reached out to you.
Well, Heart of the Mountain though, but you got somebody reached out.
You're both pretty. You're both pretty.
So I had a writer reach out to me and say, "Oh, sorry about that." And
cheers, boys.
It's actually a very interesting scenario because even though I know you did your research, I was born in Las Vegas, raised in LA.
Oh.
I lived in Vegas for just a few weeks.
Oh, really? Okay, sorry. Yeah,
and then I went to LA, and that's okay. It doesn't change the story.
But I love that you're from West Coast. No, I love that you're from West Coast.
We actually have a mutual friend out there, which is kind of neat.
Did you guys meet out there originally?
No, we met here.
Really?
So
because you spent how much time out there, Rod?
10 years.
And you spent how much time?
I grew up there, moved away for a while, was kind of all over, and then I moved back there, was there for like another 4 years, and then I moved away. But
because you've also had experience with Funny or Die. Did that happen when you were out there? Or did that happen when you were somewhere else?
that happened. I was in Atlanta for a couple of years producing digital content for Adult Swim.
Right.
So I was with Adult Swim, and then I got an offer with a company called comedy.com to go out there and shoot content for them, and they failed. And then I started producing for Funny or Die.
Wow.
And started producing that stuff, which is, I still probably every 6 months get a phone call like, you got anything? Like they just still want me to.
Oh, that's nice.
Make something. So
when that first came on the scene, man, I was such a fan of that. I tried to put a little it was called Guys in a Hot Tub Talking. And we tried to throw it up there and we had a little bit of, but I considered it like an honor to be included in, I just thought that was it ushered in a wave of, I guess, maybe something that we're a little bit hesitant to celebrate anymore, of like brief, quick.
But the cool thing about it was this is when the internet thing, the video platforms where they're dispersing comedy all day long. You've got like Super Deluxe. You had Adam Films. You had comedy or .com. You have Funny or Die. You have all these things that are popping up.
Yeah.
And they're inviting all these sketch comedy artists who are basically they're doing improv, or maybe they're making short films, or they're stand-up comedians, or any of this stuff. And they think to themselves like, how am I going to get? Where am I going to go? And then suddenly a Funny or Die or any of these things pop up.
It's an outlet for your creativity.
And now these people start making this stuff.
Yeah.
And now I made a lot of friends. I got a lot of connections from that point.
So are you taking like a comedian coming to you with an idea and then you're filming it, or are you?
No, I wrote everything myself.
So you're coming up with the concept and then reaching out to comedians to say, hey, you want to jam with this? Exactly. Or are you just doing it yourself?
I did it. So when I was out in Atlanta, I was working for.
We'll get to you, Rodney, but this is much more interesting.
I'm fascinated. This is
so when I went to I got approached by Turner Broadcasting. I used to do stand-up comedy, and I was writing a lot of satire, political satire, and doing these little web shorts. And they said, "Could you do this 5 days a week?" I said, "Sure," but it was just me reading the news, and it seemed very fake. And I said, "What if we act them out?" So we started. I found a great group of actors, and we got out there and started producing things. I'd write it that morning.
Yeah.
We'd film it that day. We would edit it that night and deliver it the next day.
And this is sort of mock reporter kind of on the street sort of stuff?
They were sketch comedy. If something happened in the news, we recreated it.
Oh, I got you. So you're doing a blow up of something that's sort of, we got a visual of it, and then you're taking it to the nth degree.
Yeah. So, and sometimes, and it was funny because it's, I'll say that Atlanta 20 years ago is Tulsa right now. In Oklahoma City right now. And the reason I say that is
you hear that, Tulsa?
Because Atlanta at the time was, it's this whole new world. And people are like, oh my gosh, like there's a studio open up. There's a show they're filming down the way. Did you hear about that zombie thing that's coming?
The zombie thing comes in and then that becomes a burgeoning sort of, everybody sees how that can be a huge income for that
studios are popping up. And, I'm working with Turner and I'm watching all these new studios coming in, and they're like, hey, more shows are going to be filmed there.
Yeah.
And then it grew, and then suddenly, and you'd go you'd go downtown areas, and you'd see this warehouse that you think they're going to burn it down, and then 6 months later, it's a design firm.
Yeah.
Because they're rebuilding that area, which is happening here.
Yeah.
If you walk around downtown, it's like, hey, look at that nice building behind that bum sleeping there. It's like
it's a crazy mashup of stuff. I went to do Tyler Perry. So I got into to do I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about it, but he's got a couple series going on, but I'd never sort of had a chance to work in Atlanta, and it's a crazy network, and the traffic is a nightmare, and it's insane.
It's a nightmare, and it was really cool because I worked on the William Street side. The William Street side was the original building.
I'm nodding like I know.
And there was so you went if you basically across the interstate is the big campus where you were, and there's the William Street side. William Street is where the whole thing started.
Right.
And then every day somebody would graduate. Like, we're adults. We're going to make TV shows across the way. And everybody held on to the pride of still being at William Street. So Cartoon Network's still there, and they're holding on strong. And then one day they go, hey, Cartoon Network, you're out, you're moving over. And then it's just like the Adult Swim people, and they're like, please don't move us. And then boom, they moved everybody. I don't even know what that is now.
You've had lots of touches in lots of different places.
He's touching me right now.
I know
it. But you're coming from a place as well that you started as an actor. Now I know that you've become a writer because I shot one of the things that you wrote.
Yeah, we did.
There's a singer-songwriter in you.
Yeah.
Which one came first? How did you find yourself?
To be honest, I mean, I did plays as a kid, but I didn't go to LA to be an actor. I went out there to play music, and
Oh, really?
I played in like 5 bands out there.
Yeah.
Actually, I had an original band. I was in an Eagles tribute band. I was in a cover band. I was in a blues band. Hey man, the most people ever at my shows was the Eagles tribute band because they knew all the words.
Yeah,
they were singing along and they loved it. But I got into stand-in work. That's how I got into the industry.
Really?
Extra work led to stand-in work because I'm 6'4", and so all of a sudden I got this like slew of actors that were all super tall guys, and they were like, "You're kind of the only tall guy around." So
yeah.
And the first thing I got was Community. It was Joel McHale.
Oh yeah, of course. Fuck.
And so,
well, wait. Shout out to my boy Stephen Ogg if you're fucking listening to this. My boy here was your stand-in.
hell yeah, Westworld.
Westworld, dog.
Yeah.
This man on a very specific scene when somebody was showing some things. Yeah.
Let's just say not wearing anything. How about that?
At all, baby.
It was in the robot shop.
Something was ringing not too long ago because we were talking about you.
No, that's funny, man. No, he was awesome. Obviously, they kicked us off set before everybody got.
Thank God.
You know, yeah.
No, Steve would have like, come here, give me a hug. Oh my Lord, he's a special individual.
No, I remember him just being really cool. But the stand-in world, and when I got to Community, Joel McHale was still doing the soup. So on Thursdays, he's gone. I'm reading with the crew. Like, and I was bartending 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that's fun.
So I'm reading with Chevy Chase, Allison Brie, Donald Glover, Joel.
So what's that sitch like? Now, are you?
But here's the thing.
Are you shitting your pants?
A bit, but I have like ball player confidence. I was like, I'm gonna step up the plate and knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
And I did, and I kind of. I always heard like,
rhythm.
Don't mess with the stars, don't mess. So I kind of like steer clear of everybody because I didn't want to step on toes. I didn't really know what I was doing.
Of course, dude.
And then,
but to have that,
I figured it out, man. And when they came, I just read lines with everybody, and I got to read off camera stuff with everybody. And then I jumped from shows to shows to shows.
When do you start sort of taking into the like enough of the stand-in work? I want to.
Stand-in work was amazing, dude.
Yeah.
It paid so well.
Yeah.
I made so much money.
So it's almost you have a side
work.
job within the industry.
Well, no, the stand-in work let me play music at night because music in LA doesn't pay.
Right.
If you're playing in bands and stuff.
Music, a lot of places.
Well, a little out here, but nothing doesn't pay at all.
Sure. Well, there's a lot of people chasing that dream too.
I got amazing. I got to read with Halle Berry.
Yeah.
I got to. Chevy Chase told me he was going to kill me one day. It was pretty funny.
There you go. You're in a very special list on that one, I bet.
And it's fun is every now and then you'll meet one that's kind of cool. Like most of the actors are all kind of standoffs, whatever they're doing their process. But every so often, man, you'll meet one and they're like normal and cool, and they're like, "Yeah, give me my number and shit." And I remember coming.
Give a shout out. Who's the one that gave you a solid?
I was drunk. I was looking through my phone and I was like, "Man, I kind of have some like
call
numbers I shouldn't have."
Coffee.
Yeah, maybe. But I also, when I was on set, I finally was kind of like, I think I want to do this. Got the acting bug, so I did a class in LA called Expressions Unlimited with Bobby Chance in Sherman Oaks.
Taking a chance with Bobby Chance.
I'm familiar. I know
Bobby and Richie Chance. Yeah. So I actually, it was an amazing class.
Was it really?
It got me able to go, and I got kind of an agent, and I did some auditions and stuff, and then I ended up getting married, and then the SAG-AFTRA merger happened, and it dumped 80,000 people into the union.
Yeah.
And so in the stand-in extra kind of world,
right.
If you didn't have a crew where you were with at that point, just because the pool got diluted. So in 2017, my wife and I moved out to Charleston, but believe it or not, Danny McBride had just moved his Rough House Productions to Charleston. They were doing
that whole team is down
Halloween,
there.
I did a commercial with Danny McBride.
That's great.
I
fucking love it.
My wife was an extra on Righteous Gemstones. They shot that.
Love that show.
3 miles from where we were living.
That's fantastic.
So, but that was kind of the only game in town.
Yeah.
And there was I did a couple local films out there as an actor. One's on Tubi, and
so you've been back here how long?
So my wife and I moved back 22 years ago.
Okay.
3 years ago next summer. And then So there was a nice little film community in South Carolina, but coming to Tulsa, like Bill said, it's like we really could do something right now.
It's really exciting.
And I think the kind of stars aligned.
Yeah.
Because we've like the right people are here right now. You're kind of leading the acting charge in all this.
No,
and,
no.
Let me give you a compliment. You're kind of doing a great thing for the Tulsa community. Doing the Circle Cinema and what you're not, because
thank you.
You're showing people this is the level we need to step up to. And then Bill coming into town, and I'm trying to do films and stuff. It's just like I think it's the right mix of people at the right time. I think we can really.
It's really cool in the sense that I felt really like those.
But there's also other Oklahoma filmmakers, Kyle Joaquin Harris.
Oh my Lord! So I'm going to have cats on the table.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to bring as many people to the table as I can to discuss all the different aspects of what's going on.
They're making some fun films in Oklahoma City. I know there's one like Jurassic Pet, I guess it's a kid film. And
I was just on the one.
One of our actresses in our upcoming thing just did her own. She was the lead in a Hallmark film, I think.
Fantastic. Lisa Fenimore.
Lisa Fenimore, yeah.
Shout out to Lisa Fenimore. We're going to get her on the show.
So we could really do something great right now if we really just focus, and I think we're on the right track. You know? So
one of the reasons I had these two cats on the show is I know, because I'm going to be part of the process and I'm chatting with these cats about it. They're putting together, they're in the beginning processes of putting together a feature. They're shooting a film. This gentleman has written, he's going to be in it, I'm going to be in it. We've been talking just collaboratively, especially from having started the Sandbox in town. It's given me the opportunity to see people shine and see people come that I wouldn't normally see or have a chance to meet or have any knowledge of, so I can make recommendations. And this is one of the reasons why I started the Sandbox, because I could see when I first landed here, though I was kept working and leaving town, there's a lot of talent and there's not a lot of places for that talent to just be in a room together. And that's what I think is important. And do some work, you know.
So what's really cool also by you doing that, and I used to go to actor showcases a lot, because it almost every time you find that one person, if not more.
Yeah.
And there's times that I've gone to things, I've sat in auditions, we're like, hey, we're going to have an open audition. You want to come and sit in? And like you said, that person's got it.
Yeah. And
I found people that have showed that have been in auditions that I have cast in things that are still working today because they had that thing. And maybe, they were like, I've never really acted before, but I want to do it. And you see it and you go, look at that.
Yeah.
So going to the Sandbox, I've found two actors from it.
Yeah.
That were performing that I approached afterwards. I said, would you like to be in this
if you don't mind me
thing? Everett.
Yeah.
And then Mariah.
Nice.
And they were both in that. And then actually Jim is now going to.
Oh, Jim Carrington.
Yeah.
Delightful man I've hooked up with when I first landed here.
And I think there's a few more people that are obviously Karsten and people like that. So
Dakota as well?
Dakota is going to be in it, but is Dakota performed in Sandbox?
He hasn't showed up in Sandbox, but he was in Rodney's film that we ended up working on that we shot.
Dakota Kennedy. No, he's the other cop playing.
He plays the other cop.
Partners, actually.
So I came here. So I had been coming here for 6 years on and off because my wife's family's from here. We would come and visit, and all we did, we saw, we'd see like the putt, and we never really played around.
Sure.
And we'd eat at little crappy restaurants. And then when I started like really looking around, I go, this is really a cool spot. I really, really dig it. And then the opportunity, somebody came up to me with a script and some money. How do you say no to that?
Yeah.
But she was a talented writer, and she said, hey, let's make this film. And I said, I'll do it, because it was very little money. Sure. And I said, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it in Tulsa.
Right.
And she goes, all right. And she came out, and that's how I met Rodney, and Rodney was a huge help. And it was funny because he just played man. Yeah. His role was man. And on set, he goes, what's my name? And I go, Sergio. And he gets on IMDb and he puts it in there.
Oh, yeah. Love it, dude. Love it.
In the credits, it'll be Sergio, the art buyer.
Sergio with the American accent.
But at that point, I'm watching him. He's not an actor that just goes, okay, am I done? He's the guy that goes, you need me to do anything? You need me to do anything?
I felt that from the get-go with Rod.
So I said, do you want to show up again? You want to show up again? So he's running around and he's like setting up lights, tearing down this, hooking up that, doing this and that. Like,
he's game.
Anything he asked me to do. Did you say gay or game? All right.
Game.
So anyway, game. All right.
Game. He's game.
So listen.
Yeah.
No. So
my wife's watching this.
Yeah. Turn the camera off. We'll answer that question. So he's fantastic, and then we have a friendship at this point. We kind of maintain, and they say, "Yeah, I'm moving out here. We got this." We keep talking, and then the film that we're doing now, which is called Kick Chalk Cop, which is I had just done a horror film parody, which is on a festival run right now, and just keeps winning. Every day I wake up to a new text and says, "You won another festival."
Congratulations!
And a lot of them are kind of smaller, nothing, but it's like a little weird cult film.
What's the name of it?
It's called Goddamn, DAM.
Okay.
And it's a story, I act in that one. It's a story where God gets mad because people are destroying his park. So he becomes a serial killer and starts killing people one by one. Jesus has to come down. Jesus has to come down and fight him. And it's a battle. But wait, there's more. He's also using the help of a topless cheerleader.
Of course.
And the reanimated head of a homeless man. And they're the ones battling God.
We just lost half our viewers.
And
I think we gained a whole new demographic, actually.
And the funny thing is, so like, my wife's parents are very religious, and we have not told them about this movie. But we're around
when's that going to be dropped?
And we go, "Hey, we just got into another festival." They go, "What movie?" We're like,
this thing. This little ditty.
Gosh darn.
So, but that is available on Amazon Prime right now. So
Amazon Prime.
Goddamn. But after making that,
can I quickly ask you, just because that's such a huge thing, is the distribution angle, right? So your film, you hustled, you got a film done, you throw it to festivals, it does well. How does it get that? If you don't mind talking a little bit, So
there's a couple different ways to go about this. The very first one is
because that always feels like
self-distribution thing on your own is pretty much dead.
Sure.
And I don't even think Amazon Prime does anymore, but Amazon Prime really was the last notable one that you could go to. You could submit a film to Amazon Prime. They took it. They asked no questions. They don't want releases.
Yeah.
They don't want anything. They're like, give us the art in 6 different ways, upload it, give us some subtitles, and you're on. And my first film that I ever put on Amazon Prime was actually my first feature film, which was I'm just going to be plugging shit all day long. Ghostumentary that's available on Amazon Prime.
You can just go on IMDb.
Back in
2015, God.
In 2015, I did I don't believe in ghosts, but I did a very funny but very real ghost documentary called Ghostumentary. I basically spent a year of my life chasing ghosts all over the West Coast. And it did really well. Put it on Amazon Prime. At that time, it made a lot of money on Amazon. Every time somebody watched it, you would get like 15 cents. But people were watching it nonstop. Who watches ghost documentaries? I mean, was
it because of something in the zeitgeist? Was it because of Blair Witch coming out at that? Was it timed with that?
Well, I mean, Blair Witch was what, 99? I mean, it was 2000. I don't remember.
Paranormal Activity was.
So this would have been I think it was just at the right time. It came out. People were seeing this new ghost documentary, and I think that people really dug it at that point. They were like, "This seems like a cool thing. I think I want to watch it." And Amazon Prime was one of 3 streaming services at the time. So everyone's like, "I've got HBO, I've got Netflix, and I've got Amazon Prime, and I don't need anything else." And that's the way that people live. So people watched it a lot more. And then over time, so this thing made, over $100,000 in the first 18 months.
How exciting!
And if a $10,000, if that investment, I'm saying hard cash, because it was my equipment, it was my kit.
Sure.
I did all the editing.
Everybody's doing beer and pizza.
Yeah. So it was just traveling and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And and then over time it slowed. Now sometimes it makes $30, sometimes it makes 15, sometimes it makes 100, but it still lives there.
Yeah.
So then I make another feature called Fugued Up, available on Amazon Prime.
Oh my fucking God! You don't have to hear about every fucking thing on your resume.
So anyway, so then I make Fugued Up.
All right, so
it's on Tubi also. Wait, where? Oh, it's
Tubi?
awesome.
Right. So look this motherfucker's work up, but I do want to get to the one that you guys are actually fucking doing.
Okay, now I'm gonna fast forward. Anyway, I put that one up. And it's fucking crickets. By the way, can we fucking cuss on this thing?
Too late.
Okay. So here's the thing.
Can we cuss?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I put this cunt of a movie up.
Whoa. Come on now.
And I'm really proud of the movie, and I think it's fantastic.
Which is why you use that specific word.
And no one watches it.
Yeah.
No, it just sits there. And every day, I get my friend. It's like you even go to your friends. "Hey, man, I'll pay you the $5 to rent it if you just review it. Just review it." And they go,
"Just give me a star."
Problem, and then I do another movie, TV in Bed, available on Amazon Prime. Yeah. I do TV in Bed, same thing. It gets at some festivals, does well, but it's kind of been a little slow. Fast forward, boop, 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 short film, this and this and this. Yeah. So I get here. I've been here 3 months almost.
Yeah.
Almost 3 months.
Dude, not long.
I go to, because of Rodney at this point now, Rodney's introduced me to the Coffee and Crew thing, and I show up to that, and Trey, who was the lead actor, Trey Munden, who was the lead actor in the film that I shot here this last spring.
Yeah.
He's sitting around and he goes, let's shoot something. And
Yeah.
I got an idea for imagine, and this is very obscure, imagine it's the 80s and one of the raunchiest, most awesome karate cop movies ever made was now made for television.
Yeah.
And so now it's going to be an 80s cop film. So it's going to start off, you're watching the ABC Sunday night movie, Kick Chuck Cop.
Dude, I love this lead-in,
And then, so basically it's going to be edited for television.
Yeah.
Shot 4:3, looking completely 80s.
And lean into that. Because
we're like, do we make it a short? Do we make it a feature? Talk to Rodney, where he's involved. And then here's the thing about Rodney. Let's talk about Rodney for a second.
Sure, please. Let's talk about he's fucking sitting here at the table.
He is the Swiss Army blade of getting a fucking film made.
Oh, and that's a nice call out, dog.
Thank you.
Because here's the thing. I go, hey, all right, well, I'm going to need a couple actors here and there. And I know some, but if he's like, well, here's 50 and they all want to be a part of it.
Sure.
He's just throwing more and more people.
Yeah.
And I've had people reach out to me in this community and they're like, hey, I heard you got this thing going. I'd like to be a part of it. And I should point out, we're shooting this for no money. No one's getting paid.
Yeah.
They're getting a nice, write that. And then, like, here's a bologna sandwich.
But it's also,
temperature water.
Work begets work, and you start a good vibe behind a project. You start to find some goodwill towards a project.
Yeah.
And because there's a lot of goodwill towards Rodney, because he's a good dude. But also he's bringing, the minute I met him, there's an eagerness, right? There's not not that Rodney is not knowledgeable. He comes from many different sides of this, but there was an openness to listen, and there was an openness to play.
Well,
and that's
gotta have
collaboratively is a fucking
but wait,
delight.
There's more.
Uh-oh.
So then you go, Rodney, I need to get a couple locations.
We are really giving Rodney some masturbation material later on.
His head is getting huge. But I go, hey, I need a couple locations this way and that way. And he goes, calls me up, sends me a text. He goes, hey, you want to go look at some locations? I think I got some for you.
Yeah.
And boom, not only did he, and I know we keep telling the story, you just cracked us up.
Yeah,
but he meets this guy and the guy goes, yeah, I got a warehouse. No, he's got 4 warehouses.
Yeah.
And they're
Dude,
all
we went up
changed.
to, he shot a film.
Jeff Mancini.
This is
a good man.
Jeff stuff. Wait, who did we shoot? What land did we shoot on?
That was our good friend, Paul McInnes.
So we go to
his
Paul's
father-in-law's
spot.
Denny. And
you could shoot any kind of fucking movie on this. Like, if you want to shoot like a 1940s romantic, like, oh my Lord, the mansion's burning.
It's a cow
that
pasture.
could happen.
It looks amazing.
You want to shoot post-apocalypse, like shit went wrong. Just turn the fucking camera.
That's awesome.
It's amazing what this local area
that's the stuff that's going to thrive here
provides for you.
That's what's so cool. And so he finds this area and it's like it's going to be a warehouse, and we look at it and I look at the first part of it and it's pretty old and it's like 1920s, some of that equipment stuff looks like some of that stuff looks like it has been touched
older the
since
fucking
1920s.
better.
No, you think that. And then we walk around and he goes, oh, and I got this, it looks like a closet. It looks like a storage closet. He goes, you guys want to check out what's in that closet? We're like, I don't know, whatever. Sure, come on. He opens the door and it's like fucking Narnia.
Yeah.
You walk in there and it's this whole nother bit. Like, where'd this come from? I think this is magical.
I had a cat on the show talking about locations. I don't know if it's going to be before this episode or fucking after this episode. Who the fuck knows?
We're going to be
we were talking one of the things we talked about is multi-purpose.
Yeah.
And you just got shown a location that not only has one purpose, has this purpose. And then wait a minute. We could reconfigure this to fucking this because this is dope. But it's not shoot here.
So it's barely reconfiguring because one of the things that I needed like an 80s sterile kind of police kind of just police station, headquarters. Yeah. Right. And we needed like this desk area. And I'm like, I don't know, we're gonna get that, and we're all kind of looking around. And he goes, come here, open this door. And we walk through there and we're like, what?
It's fucking there.
Fuck, there it is. It was perfect. And then we go, yeah, it'd be great if we had a little desk area. And he goes, or this little area that could be the office. He goes, oh, like this guy opens the door and there's this room that's perfect for it. And then we're like, oh man, if only we had some old metal desks. He goes, you want an old metal desk? We walk to another room. He opens it up, stacks of old metal desks.
Yeah,
I'm like, the film fairies love us.
Yeah.
Look at us go.
It's great.
And then he goes, do you want to see the new warehouse? And we go, At this point, we're like,
you can do your whole fucking movie on
Yeah.
this guy's spot.
Pretty much. And we're like, yeah, let's go check it out. But at this point, I'm so like overstimulated with everything I just saw. I'm like, I just want to go home and talk about it.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we're like,
yeah.
all right, let's go and
Go, dude.
Yeah, I guess.
So let's go look at it. And it's this pristine warehouse, pristine. And it's weird because he has all this weird. What was that wrapped? It looked like
it was
machinery
parts.
casing,
Yeah, it was like engine
Big
parts.
machine-
Even if
parts.
you're not going to use it for this film, you have this thing.
we're
that could be,
using it, and he's and he has these like big truck forklifts.
Yeah.
And we're like, can we move that? Like, can we have him move around? He's like, yeah. Rodney goes, can I drive one? Like, he just like, that was the one time. I think it's
They
the one
look
time
like
he said
monster
no.
trucks. They're
They
the
do.
monster
You wanna
trucks
say
of
that
And
is-
that's the only time I think I heard him say no. But anyway, after that, and
you
he's
want to
like,
have luck with locations, and luck is important with locations,
Oh,
but it's
man.
also
It
about
just-
building relationships.
Yeah.
And knowing, I don't know, getting out, exploring, taking walks, fucking connecting with people. And that's when the doors open, when
It's
they
also
meet
big-
the individual.
I am from here. I am from
Right.
Tulsa, so this is all like I just.
so he
You
goes,
know?
Yeah.
I said,
I have cousins, family.
Yeah.
We were gonna find. Are you gonna tell the flower story?
I was gonna
Flowers?
tell- yeah, the
Go
flower-
for it. Go for it.
I said, hey, I need a flower shop. I'll tell the short version. You can expand on
Sure.
it. I need a flower shop. Next day he goes, I got 2. You want to go look at them? And he sends me a picture. He walked into them, took pictures.
One guy.
And I was like, oh, I thought
What's
this
his
was
cat's name?
He goes,
What's his cat's name?
What's his name?
well, the
Alan Smithy.
Alan. Yeah. I love his shit, man. It's good.
Cheers.
No, but not only does he send me, I thought he was going to send me one picture of the flower shop. He sends me like 40.
I have no
My
idea what
phone
we're
is
talking
blowing
about. I
up
know
with
it's
this.
about a flower shop.
He's like, well, hey, so I said I need a flower shop, and
I
he
know.
finds me one. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
So- and he goes, which one do you want to see it? And then he goes, I'm getting on a plane, so we haven't looked at him yet.
Yeah, we're gonna
He was
take
in
a
town.
look,
I've been in this where the picture starts to write it, like it just starts to, form.
So- manifest.
So that has
Yeah.
happened where you've seen something and you go, I have to include that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have
yeah,
to-
yeah.
Where,
And to
where
be
a
smart
location
enough-
becomes a character. When a location becomes
Yes.
a character,
Then you can
that
I can
is-
adjust the script to this thing because this thing fucking works.
In fact, every location should be a character. And
Yeah.
the reality is because you want to just know it and feel it and see it.
The environment should be a fifth player. You
Yeah.
know, it's like when you're doing theater, you have the extra audience is always this thing that the environment that we go into to create this world. When it's, everybody talks about when they, like what Dune, they did the practical sets and all the actors are like, oh, it's just fucking right there and not a green screen. Of course, when you actually get the real shit, because I had this shit happen to me. We were shooting a post-apocalyptic film. Couldn't find anything in New York. Everything was so mad expensive. They wanted like 10 to 100 grand for one fucking day, and that's our budget. I was working on a play about a town in the middle of Pennsylvania that had both their minds shuttered. The playwright shows me pictures of this place. It's fucking perfect. It's exactly what we fucking want. He's like, let's take a drive out. I drive out with him just because I'm working on the fucking play to do due diligence. He takes me out, meet the mayor, meet the chief of police. We now have an entire town to shoot in for nothing. They welcome us to come. All we have to do is move the production, which was fine. We got the production value that we got by shooting at this place. Empty high schools, churches destroyed, houses that were, they cleared out the main street of cars and everything so we could drag a body down one day. I mean, it was just I feel that here, that there is a welcome, as long as you don't shit the bed and piss people off and be respectful and make it an exciting, there's opportunity out the yin yang.
Well, and in that there's a lot of diversity in locations here, which is really fantastic. So even just the day after Christmas, I wanted to get B-roll because Kick Chalk Cop is supposed to take place in Christmas.
Sure.
So I just brought my camera downtown and
note
walked
to self:
around.
don't write a film for a specific holiday. Good.
Well, the reason I wanted, because a lot of stuff
Christmas.
like Kick Chalk Cop. Well, it's kind of like a lot of these movies, a lot of like Lethal Weapon and stuff like that. They take place at Christmas.
A backdrop, sure.
So I'm making fun. I'm kind of attaching to that whole concept.
Do a little call out.
But
Good.
it'll go as close as I just went downtown and got Christmas lights, and I got
Sure.
And of course, at that time, you walk around the camera, and there's two people, two questions you get asked every time. Hey, man, is that a camera?
Yeah.
And then one is
No,
hey,
it's a feather.
yeah, hey, you filming something? Those are the two things. So I swear to God, 8 times, man, walking around down there. and I'm walking down by the BOK Center,
and I'm eating it,
and I'm filming people, and I'm just filming like at feet ice skating, the tree, this and that. Everybody, hey man, is that a camera? And my camera is the camera I shot the commercial with. That's a big fucking camera. It's a huge.
Have you ever gotten that when you're trying to film something?
I'm not walking around with an iPhone. I got a big ass camera, and they always go, "Hey man, is that a camera? What you filming something? No, it's a keychain, fucker. I'm trying to find my car. Like, what? Are you that stupid?
So, if you're gonna walk up to people on a film set, ladies and gentlemen, come up with something else other than, is that a kid? If he's holding a fucking camera.
Like, hey, you guys a bunch of Satan worshippers?
Is Sydney Sweeney in this thing?
Wait, why did you go there?
And still,
Well, I didn't know that was a jumping off point from camera to Satan worshiper.
the ultimate.
We need to get the audience. Can we get someone removed?
Yeah.
Because it's getting dark.
And everyone's gonna know this one. Everyone's gonna know the car that goes by and honks because they think it'll make it in the movie. They think they'll be watching the movie and they'll hear. Okay, that was me.
All right, don't scream!
car
Don't
made
scream!
it.
Don't scream! Jesus Christ, Josh is gonna. Wait, can I just give me camera one? I want to.
right
If you are gonna, if you are driving by, if you are driving by a bunch of people shooting a scene, don't honk. You don't know how long they've set up that fucking scene. It could have been an hour. And you could be shitting the bed and pissing and fucking a day when you do that. Find another way to draw attention to yourself in that moment.
Flash your boobs to drive by. Do something that's more like.
Yell, hey Malkovich, and throw a beer can at him.
That's a good one. That'll make the movie. That makes the movie. Yeah.
Oh, if I can never not see that. I'm just, every time I look at camera one now, that is what I'm going to see. Oh,
there we go. See? Whoa. That worked. Hey. And that was a polite way to interrupt.
Oh, my Lord.
Back there.
I think that's the show.
I'd like to thank our guests.
Go on.
So when's the next time you're going to play out as a singer-songwriter?
February.
So that's great. I'm glad we touched on that.
We got Kick Shot Cop coming up.
So
I'm going to focus on that.
You are undertaking this. So you put this into gear 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
No, I'd say I put it a little over a month ago. And so I'm really fortunate. So my wife is she helps me produce this stuff. She's super talented. She's also a really good actress, although I always force her to play things like in I just did this on
I am a member of the Good Actress Society. Good Actress as a Wife Society.
Yes, there's on Vimeo, it's called Is It Cake? It's a 60-second horror film that I made. Just because we wanted to make it. We were getting ready to move.
Plug-o-matic. That's what this fucker is.
It's called Is It Cake?
Jesus Christ.
And she gets murdered.
Oh my God.
But it's a serial killer. It's a serial killer that wants to find out.
Don't tell him. It's a 60-second fucking movie. Don't tell him it.
But he wants to find out if things.
He wants to find
out. He stabs everything to see if it's cake. You ever seen those things where I really swear to God, I wanted to start an Instagram account where it was going to be
is it cake or is it blood?
I wanted to start an Instagram account that was called Is It Cake? And they always come with a knife. But it's never cake.
No.
But it's never cake.
I have actually watched this show with my wife and kid. I have actually watched this show.
So they're like, is this like, it's never fucking cake. Like, that's what I want to do.
Is it cake or is it emergency room?
Oh my God.
So I did a horror.
I know the reference.
But she's in it. She gets killed. But she helps me produce all this stuff. She's fantastic. In fact, we're shooting another film this summer that's a budgeted film. That I'm actually going to bring Rodney on as first AD because he's so because this guy on set just is like just a top. You just pull him and you just watch him go, and he just goes bing bing, and he's shut up. We're filming bing bing bing. He's just like really great.
I want to give a shout out to him as well because when we first got together, not long after we met, we had probably a month in our friendship or a month or two.
You, me, and our actor friend Will Wilson, we all got together, and I was like, he's just like Trey. I was like, we need to do something. You know?
And he wrote it, and it was really fucking good. And I was like, yeah, we could shoot this in fucking 2 days. Then I went away and shot 2 films, and I came back, and it was 16 pages long as opposed to 8 pages long. And I came to him, and I said, you have to trust me. What you added, we don't need. And that was something that he embraced and also kept his own vision. And we shot that fucker. We were early both days.
We got done Under Time.
Yeah, it was it was a really great. The whole collaborative experience was just wonderful.
And our DP too. PJ.
Yeah, Blake Nolan Brown, baby.
Exteriors, and I was like, I'm in the football world. If you have a good running back, give him the ball. You know what I mean? Like let him run. So I was like, please,
because we lost a DP really quick in the process of trying to get this thing together. So I brought someone that I had shot my first film with, and he came in and just kicked its ass with like an hour of prep, and we were humming.
Yeah, we made some changes to the script. We had like we were talking about happy accidents when something goes a little wrong. Man. We had a phone go off, but it went off at the perfect time.
Yeah. So somebody left their phone. The thing goes off at a point where I'm supposed to. We hadn't thought about it, but when a walkie-talkie goes off, and it went off, and I just played it as it was of the walkie-talkie, and then I walked off camera, and it was like something that we used beautifully. But we got to wrap this fucker up.
Okay.
You guys have been incredible. I want to wish you all the fucking.
Well, you're going to be on set.
I'm going to be on set. I know why I'm set. I'm going to be on the damn fucking thing. I want to bring you guys back after the process and see how it all went, and we'll talk about it. Thank you for coming to the show.
Wait, I'm not done. I got to plug one more thing.
Oh my fucking God. Please plug.
This is the Tulsa Underground Film Festival.
Tulsa Underground Film
Festival. Oh my God, yes.
We have to, so basically, if you go to the TUFFEST.com, I have started an Underground Film Festival. Pretty inexpensive internationally to submit to, but it's free to Oklahomians.
Yeah.
And I have a discussion if it's Oklahomans or Oklahomians. I'm going to say Oklahomians.
Homans, no, A-N.
Oklahomans.
It's both.
It's like it's like me saying Wagoner instead of Wagner. I'm a fucking.
It's on Film Freeway.
It's on the Google. Anyway, Film Freeway, but it's submit. You should submit your stuff. We've had some really cool stuff. It's you have till February 2nd to submit.
Brand new film festival in town.
March 1st, but it's going to be every 6 months. We're going to do it 6 months, and it's going to be at Cabin Boys off Utica.
TUFFEST, Toughest.
The Toughest.
The Toughest, excuse me.
TheToughest.com.
TheToughest.com. Jesus Christ. No one's listening. Everybody's turned off the fucking podcast. But check out this film festival. It's the newest one in town.
It's on Film Freeway. Just submit your film.
If you have something that you have done, that you have completed, oh God, what do I do with it?
Submit it. We'd love to see it.
Yeah,
it could be weird. It could be crazy. It could be anything. So
these are movers and shakers in Tulsa, and we are trying to make a lot of interesting things happen. And I'm very happy to have you guys at the table.
Thank you for having us.
And I can't wait to hear how the project goes, and I can't wait to talk about it myself. Thank you for listening, everybody. This has been the Sosk. Thank you, Huff. Thank you, Sash. And thank you for listening, everybody. Peace.